We're here to show you today how to install the Buster Brace on the 2021 and 2022 Bronco. We're here to show you how easy it is. We're here to show you how you can do it without affecting warranty and without having to have an alignment. Our solutions are about making this as easy as possible for you. So we're gonna get to it. Now, you'll see tie rod is off. Only reason the tie rod is off for this install is we just finished up an install on the bushing. So if you just put your bushing in, this is a good time to put the driver's side on. We'll then show you in a scenario where we don't take the tie rod off how it goes also. So first thing to note is you'll take the screws out. You know, these will all come shipped from us with the screws in it. You'll take these screws out. Note that, I'll show you here, they're different lengths because you have a step in here. And so what we have done is we've actually given it a little bit different color on the screws just to help identify them. Again, in feedback from you guys, we found that, hey, I didn't really pay attention and I threw the screws back in together and wrong lengths went in the wrong place and they messed them up. So just note, keep them in the right spot. Easiest way to do is leave them on there. Okay, set it right there. Then you're gonna take and you're gonna locate this. So we've actually added a new little feature to it. You'll see on these tie rods, there's a casting mark in there, meaning these outer tie rods are cast. And when those come apart and then they grind that casting mark, it leaves a little bit of a slot for a groove. And we put that slot, a little slot in there to help you locate in the right position. So you'll see, you'll set it up on there and you'll see that Bronc Buster is able to be read. If it looks like this, then you've got the wrong side on the wrong, you'll have a right and a left to this process. So you're gonna hold it up there. On that, you're gonna locate that casting mark right there. And then you're gonna turn, and you'll see, as I turn and I have it located, you're gonna be about 3/8 of an inch off of that spot there. You've captured over that groove, and you've got your nut for the alignment that has plenty of space inside of there. Now I'm gonna take this. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and line these up. Start them all by hand. If you have a drill at this point, since this side is open, this is a good spot to just zip them down with the drill. I get them down as far as I can with by hand, and then I like to just take and now tighten one of them, get it right where I want it, tighten one. So I'm gonna just kind of get it snug, not real tight yet, and now I'm gonna turn it and see that, okay, once I turn that, then it's all in the right position. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and go back now and just proceed to tighten all of these down. Okay, now that I got them all pretty much tightened, I'm just gonna start on one side and just go and recheck them all, because as I already tightened those and I come across it, now these are a little bit loose. So I'm just gonna go randomly across, just make sure that they're all nice and snug. And when I say snug, we put the instructions, how many foot-pounds. You're probably not gonna get a torque wrench back there, but you're gonna take and put your hand on it to where you're not railing on it, but you can get it nice and tight. If you go too hard, you can strip the threads. It is aluminum, but just good and snug. And see, I'm going back across all of them. And one of the important things to note, as I tighten this, I get them all good and snug, you're not gonna fully close that gap. And that's purposeful. We did that for two reasons, and I get a lot of questions. Hey, I think I messed it up. I didn't close that gap in. What do I need to do? Well, number one, every one of these castings are slightly different. Number two, this is a clamp. This is literally clamping over tight tolerances over that tie rod. Number three, any water or moisture that gets in there, we want it to be able to drain out and escape. So all of these things have been incorporated into the design on purpose. I verified all of them, and again, not railing on them. I've just gone back over it one more time. Okay, now that that's done, we're gonna go ahead and put the tie rod back on. We're gonna make sure it seats, and then we can put the wheel and tire back on, torque that back to 110 foot-pounds, and on your tire, and you are good to go. And that's how simple this process is. So here, let's go ahead and install this side. So, like I showed on the other side, we're gonna remove the screws. You got 2 lengths again. You wanna make sure and keep the lengths separated. I'm gonna just set that there to my side. Okay, one side's bigger than the other side. Of course, this side goes to small. Talon, hand me a pair of pliers, because the first thing you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna pull this clamp out of your way, because this boot has to kind of slide back out of the way. So the easiest thing to do is just pull the clamp out of the way, slide that tie rod in, and then put the clamp back on. I've tried it multiple ways, but this is the easiest. Now I have plenty of room to work. Then, like I said on the other side, you've got that locate groove. So I'm gonna just get up here, and I'm gonna put this to where I'm locating it in that same spot. I'm lining up. I can see that little bit of a reveal. And then I'm gonna take the back of it. I'm gonna bring it around back here. And I'm probably gonna drop a few screws in the process, so don't worry about that. Just make sure you keep the short ones go towards the inner and the long ones go towards the outer. So I'm gonna just line that up here, and I'm gonna get a couple of screws started. So that locate groove that we put in there is because there's a casting on here, and it gives it to where it doesn't hang up on that casting, number one. Number two, it helps you kind of have a location of where to have that sitting. And so I'm just gonna kind of go around and by hand get these started. The other thing to note is the reason why we have that little bit of a step in the back of the brace is because it needs to clearance it, not necessarily on a stock vehicle, but for you guys that have aftermarket coilovers. So we did that universal on everybody's because yes, this will fit with all versions of coilovers without having a clearance issue. So as I'm doing this, periodically, you know, I get so many tight, and I'll either have somebody turn the wheel. It just makes it easier. Some of these are with the shocks right here, it gets a little tight to get to. And so feel free to, you know, you can rotate the tie rod back and forth. It kind of sits on a ball axis. You can have somebody jump in there, turn the wheel, or just jump up and go turn the wheel and say, hey, you know what? So like I've got everything on this side done. Now I'm gonna have Talon go ahead and turn the wheel all the way to the driver's side. Okay. You're not removing the tie rods, you're not getting an alignment, you're not sacrificing your warranty. It has some nice bling to the front of your vehicle. By the time you put on all the labor and the alignment, this is the easiest, the cheapest way of doing this. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you guys watching. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe to our channel, as we'll have more upcoming solutions for the Ford Bronco. Or if you want to stay tuned, click on this link for our next install. Well, we're going to get to install some
shock skids.
All right, Talon's favorite.